Good evening, ladies and gents. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the most dystopian cryptocurrency that has ever been released, and that, of course, is Worldcoin. From the creators of ChatGPT and even Y Combinator, Sam Altman has now come out with a shitcoin called Worldcoin, and it doesn't really get any more dystopian and seem like we're living in a simulation than this coin created by our AI overlords wants you to go and scan your eyeballs to be able to get a world digital ID to prove you're a real human and not an AI. And in return for that, you're going to get a little airdrop of some free world coins. So in today's video, we're going to go through everything you need to know in regards to Worldcoin. Whether it is a buy here, because it's such a hated coin, can it pump just because of the fact that everyone is hating on it, or is it worth shorting? So Sam Altman saw this huge progress in AI before the rest of us did. So he started working on this project a couple of years ago because he saw how important it would be in the future to be able to prove that you're in fact a real human. And no one really thought that we're now already at the stage where most AI can pass the Turing test. So basically, if you're talking to an AI, you're not going to be able to decipher whether it's actually a human or whether it's a computer. And not only that, you're also not going to be able, or probably very soon or already, you're not going to be able to discern, or it's very difficult to discern whether a photo is AI or if it's actually a real photo. Soon that's going to extend to videos. It already has extended to articles, etc., etc. So he put in place this idea, or he started working on this idea to prove that you are a real human. And one of the main reasons that Sam and the company Worldcoin wanted this, or think that this is important, is because they also realize that AI is going to take a huge number of jobs. So they think that UBI is the solution for AI basically replacing an enormous amount of human knowledge labor. So they think UBI is a solution, and for UBI to work, they think there's going to have to be a verifiable way to prove that you are in fact a human, and not an AI trying to get extra UBI for a human that has just set up an AI so he can get a double payment or something like that. So right now, the Worldcoin token is sitting at a market cap of a fully diluted market cap of $25 billion, which would put it in the top 5 of all cryptocurrencies in the world at a fully diluted valuation. But there's only 1% in circulation. So the market cap right now is only $250 million. So eventually it has to grow into that valuation of 25 billion. And obviously 25 billion is extremely high for a market cap for a coin that is just released. But then you got to weigh up the idea that, okay, what is ChatGPT worth? Their other business. ChatGPT is easily worth 100 billion, if not more. If you could invest directly in ChatGPT, which you can't unfortunately, it would easily be worth 100 billion, especially with all the hype that's going on, probably multiple hundreds of billions, in my personal opinion, because people see how crazy useful this technology is and how transformative it is. Now, there is no way you can invest directly in ChatGPT. You could invest in Microsoft, but Microsoft's a $2 trillion valuation. So even if ChatGPT doubles in value, Microsoft's only going to see a 10% boost. That's not really okay, cool, I got a 10% return in a year. Who cares? That's crap. So potentially people are going to look at Worldcoin as a proxy to invest in ChatGPT. Potentially. Now that's one of the theories that I have. But before we dive further into the pumponomics and the tokenomics, I want to explain a little bit further how Worldcoin actually works, because I think a lot of people misunderstand it. So they custom built all of these orbs and put them all throughout the world. So you can go up to one of these orbs, get your retina scanned, and it creates a hash of your retina. So there's no digital image of your retina, and your retina is not actually stored in their centralized database. It's just a hash of your retina, just saying, okay, this is the unique hash that this particular retina produced. So people have the misconception that they're scanning your eyeballs and they're matching this with your name, your face, your ID, your address, your bank account numbers, and your favorite fetish. But no, in actuality, it's just a hash to prove that you are a unique human. So basically an AI can't recreate a new eyeball. So an AI image isn't going to be able to create a new eye, because for whatever reason, I'm not sure exactly the technicalities behind that. So if I go and scan my eyeball and then I go try and scan my eyeball again 2 weeks later, it's going to be like, no, this eyeball matches this hash. So each single hash that they have in their database matches with one particular human. So that's the idea behind it. The images of your eyeball, like I said, are deleted instantly, and it uses zero knowledge rollup, so it can't match any particular hash with any particular eyeball. It can just say, okay, this eyeball matches one of the hashes that we have in our database. So that's zero knowledge rollups, or ZK, sorry, not zero knowledge rollups, ZK proofs. So that's essentially what ZK proofs do. So obviously this is an extremely ambitious project. They want to get every single human on this, and they already have like hundreds of these orbs all around the world, all throughout the third world. And a lot of third world countries are, if they're living near one of these orbs, are going to go and get their eyes scanned, because you get a free, $20 to $50 for doing it, potentially. And potentially it actually will be very useful in the future. Do I think this has long-term, do I think this is high probability of success? No, I think this is an extremely ambitious project, and it's most likely going to fail, but that's what businesses are for, and that's what I'm sure Sam would agree with that. Like, most entrepreneurs think, okay, maybe this is a 1 in 10 chance of becoming enormous and extremely useful. So they're building this. The likelihood of success is low, but not zero, and there's huge upside. But even if their probability of success is very low, or zero in your opinion, that also doesn't mean that the coin can't pump. So like I said, only 1% of the supply is in circulation. So that means there's huge volatility possible, because it's only a very small market cap right now. So a lot of people are looking at the fully diluted valuation and thinking, okay, it's once these tokens get released onto the market, it's going to get dumped so hard and so fast. Well, when are these tokens actually going to get dumped on the market? We can see their supply schedule. Only about 2 billion of the tokens are set to be released this year. So about 20% of the entire supply will be released in the first year. And the main release schedule is over the next 3 years, and by then we'll have 60 to 70% unlocked. And the majority of these tokens are the darker orange, going to the community, so the people who scan their eyeballs. Essentially, that's where most of the tokens are going. And there's also some for the team, and then 13% for the initial investors. So those initial investors are up massively. So there's about 13% you got to watch out for, because they're going to be dumping those tokens hard, and more likely than not, they're going to be shorting the token right now. Already they're shorting, so they can kind of hedge their position. So they're kind of selling already before they even have their tokens, because they know they'll get the tokens in the end. So personally, how do I think this is going to play out, and what exactly am I doing in regards to this shitcoin? So I think a lot of people are mid-curving this and trying to be a little bit too smart about it. You just kind of have to left curve it a bit and say, okay, this is a coin released by the creator of ChatGPT. AI is going crazy right now. It has a market cap of $250 million, so super cheap, and pretty much everyone hates it because, you know, it has these negative connotations like privacy concerns, which are 100% true. Like, I'm not going to go get my retina scan straight away myself. And yeah, even if you hate the coin, that doesn't matter. You can hate the coin, you can hate the project, but the coin can still pump. The more hated it is, often, the stronger the pump can be. So I would be very careful shorting this coin straight away, especially right now, because there's a lot of negative funding on this coin, on the perps. So a lot of people, there's more shorters than longers right now on Worldcoin, which is not a good sign if you're a shorter. You want the opposite, in fact. And I don't think this has gotten a huge amount of mainstream attention yet. I think over the next couple of weeks, this is going to start getting a lot of attention. It's going to be on the likes of the All In podcast. If you're a listener of the All In podcast, they're definitely going to be talking about this next week. And it hasn't really taken Twitter by storm. Still not a lot of people are talking about this, even though it's one, like, it really fits the bill of the trending narratives right now. AI, Sam Altman, technology, privacy, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to really start playing into the mainstream narrative soon. So this isn't really just a crypto bros. Like, if you're watching this video, you're one of the few people left in crypto during the bear market. But this isn't a crypto bro coin. This is a mass retail coin. Like, a lot of retail are going to be interested in this coin because of the whole AI narrative with the Sam Altman thing. Could be a huge amount of retail money on the sidelines that once they hear about this coin think, okay, seems a bit weird, but probably it's only a $200 million valuation. This could be a good investment. What am I doing personally? I bought a very small bag of it, and I'm probably not going to be holding this super long term. Maybe I'll hold a little bit of it super long term, but yeah, I'm expecting volatility in the short term, and I think there's a potential that it could pump in the short term. Now, long term, do I think it deserves a $25 billion valuation over the next 10 years? I think they have a lot to prove if they want to fill into that valuation. I don't even think Sam Altman, like, this is just his side project, and it has a $25 billion valuation. It's definitely overvalued on that sense, but you know, everything in crypto is overvalued when you think about it. Alright, so I'm a bit conflicted on this one. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, this is like, you have no morals to buy this coin, this is a CBDC, it's a privacy nightmare dystopian coin. But personally, I think the fear is being a little bit overblown potentially. Max pain for most people would be to see this coin absolutely gigascend. So the final thing I wanted to show you was another very hyped up coin. So this coin is Aptos, and as you can see, it had an initial pump. It was very hyped up. It was from the creators of DM, so that was Facebook's crypto project, which they had to can because of regulations. So they came over and created Aptos, extremely hyped, pumped initially, then settled down to some sort of base, and then went and gigasent. So let's line this up now with the coin, with the chart for Worldcoin, and yeah, this is what the possibility is. So I'm just looking at this as kind of a more short-term trade for me personally. Now, obviously I could be wrong and this could potentially just nuke down to zero, but I just think it's so hated, it's so shorted that yeah, there is potential opportunity there with just a very, very small position. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you learned something. And I'm seeing a lot of you, actually, a lot of these viewers aren't subscribed. So make sure, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.